We have Dr. Martin Freney joining us, who is the founder and CEO of Earthship Eco Homes, which is a design consultancy with a mission of mainstreaming earthships in Australia. Now, Martin is also the owner-builder of Earthship Iron Bank, which is the first council-approved earthship in all of Australia, and it's quite a feat, opening doors for a lot of others who are interested in this kind of method of construction as well as living. He also lectures part-time at the University of South Australia and has a PhD from the University of Adelaide, where he did a very deep dive into the sustainability aspects of housing, and specifically a focus on off-grid living. So if you could please join me in welcoming Dr. Martin Freney to the stage. That's you. Okay.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Ken. So it's called Earthship Inman Valley because it happens to be in Inman Valley, South Australia, on the Fleurieu Peninsula. You can see the yellow pin there. The owner-builders of this project are Evie and Tristan. They have about 100 acres. And their site is on a big bald hill, very windy, surrounded by bush, which of course is a bit of a bushfire hazard. So one of the first things that happened was Evie, as the project manager, owner-builder, she called up South Coast Sound and Civil, the earthworks contractor, to scrape off the top of that ridgeline. You can see there in blue, so I think about 100 tons of earth was stockpiled, ready to build the Tyre Wall and the earth berm that you see on the left of the slide there. So this photo is taken about a month ago. You can see the Tyre Wall on the left there. Evie's doing a great job managing the budget. They're going to hit about 580 grand, which includes about 70,000 bucks worth of off-grid systems. Batteries, panels, rainwater tanks, septic system, all that business. And they're in about month 12 at the moment and hoping to get in by Christmas. And I think this is a fantastic achievement by some owner builders. So just a few shots of the building in September. And this is the design brief that Evie and Tristan gave to me. Basically, they want an Earthship-inspired building. They were interested in self-sufficiency and being fully off-grid because of their remote site, and of course bushfire resilience was important. They wanted to do, permaculture food systems, which led to the idea of having a large insulated storeroom, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and all the usual Earthship things. These are some of the key people. I'll skip over this, but you can refer back to that in the recording. I'd like to spend a little bit of time on the Earthship design principles and goals. So the guy who came up with this, Michael Reynolds, the American architect, he has 6 design principles that you see there in the blue circles. At the heart of all these design principles is the idea of being self-reliant, self-sufficient, having this autonomous house. And I feel like this is a really sensible thing to do with the 21st century, sort of throwing quite a few challenges at us, which you see in the red triangle there, not the least of which is climate change, which is driving some of these things. But for this presentation, I want to focus on the one at the top there, natural heating and cooling, and also some of these themes like the volunteers, the students, family, friends helping build a community around this project. I'll start with the floor plan. One of the different things about this Earthship inspired design is that the western end you see there, all the yellow walls are straw bale walls. And the idea of this was so that we could get views out to the south and the west, which is otherwise quite a difficult thing to do with an Earthship where you have the Tyre Wall and hundreds of tons of earth behind you. It's not practical to put a window in there. So they got the views, but they also got their Earthship. And so before I go on to the next slide, I want you to take note of the earth tubes, the ventilation system, and then there's the greenhouse at the front of the building. So in the section view here, you see this earth tube. So the way the building works to keep a relatively stable indoor temperature is that as the air comes in to this tube, it actually changes temperature because of the stable temperature of the earth. So as it comes into the building, if it's 42 outside, it can be 22 degrees as it comes in. This is actually what I've measured on my Earthship project in Ironbank. And all this is sort of driven by natural airflow, as the hot air leaving the greenhouse naturally draws fresh air into the building. And yeah, I guess what's more, all this thermal mass behind the building, hundreds of tons of earth, we call this the thermal battery. And this is what really helps to regulate and stabilize indoor air temperatures throughout the year. So yeah, this is their renewable energy system. I'm just now going to flick fairly quickly through a whole bunch of slides. This is day one of our first workshop last October. Yeah, you're going to see this Tyre Wall under construction. It got built in about 3 weeks. We had about 30 volunteers. COVID actually messed with us a little bit. We had our first COVID lockdown in November last year, if you recall. So we were on site for about 4 weeks, camping, having a lot of fun. So, you know, this is one of the Earthship things, is really trying to inspire people and make them realize that they can get involved in the construction of their own homes. That's the earth tube on the south side of the building. Tyre wall's getting higher and higher. Am I going for time, Ken? You can see here the rigid insulation that goes in behind the Tyre wall and some of the waterproofing. Here we're starting to mix some cob. There's a cob man. That's not really part of the building. Yeah, the cob goes on the Tyre walls to make them flat and ready to receive render. This is the concrete beam that goes on top of the Tyre wall, built with can wall formwork, lost formwork. That just helps us get that concrete beam done cheap and cheery with volunteer labour. Slab reinforcing, that's the team there on the last day of the workshop. Tyre wall all done, bond beam done. And yeah, this is a quick little video, drone footage of the Tyre wall, what a bunch of 30 fairly inexperienced people managed to achieve. This is the concrete pour, about 50 grams worth of concrete, and you know, a team of concreters came in to do that. We went back for a couple of working bees, which just means like a sort of a one-day event with some of the volunteers that came on the first big workshop. This is the planter where the grey water gets treated. This is a finish on the insulation at the back of the building, the waterproofing on the back of the building, rubber sheet, framing, all done by the carpenters. And then we went back again for another workshop to do straw bale install, more cobbing on the Tyre wall. These are bottle bricks, bottle walls at each end of the greenhouse. And I'm getting to the end now. This is the final workshop we've done, which was all about getting mud on the straw bale walls and finishing off the bottle bricks, getting the building to lock up stage. And yeah, that was only a few weeks ago now. And so to finish this, my last slide, this is Earthbnb, the latest design that's really focused on bushfire resilience, being really economical, and also a fast build where we can teach people, you know, from start to finish how to build a simple little structure, which is actually based on my Earthship Ironbank project. It's just the next evolution. So thank you, everyone. Over and out.